Stay up on the latest this hurricane season. Please subscribe for future updates.
Hey, good Tuesday afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Greg Majeski back with you here on the Weather Nerds channel with an update here on Tropical Storm Ernesto. And before we get going, if you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, please consider it. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're alerted on future content, and leave me a thumbs up. Tell me what you think about this report as we're looking at the latest here on Ernesto, which is finally getting close enough in range here on the Puerto Rican radar site to see the center of circulation sitting right about in there as it's continuing to move off in a west-northwesterly direction now. Eventually, we're making that turn toward the north as it's getting stronger and it's been getting better organized throughout the day. Winds here generally been rolling in out of the north here across like San Juan. They're about 15 to 20 miles per hour, but really not been looking too bad. Definitely seeing the winds here picking up across the British West Indies here for this afternoon. A little bit breezy out there. Definitely not the best of beach days out there anywhere here across the Caribbean. I've seen some video out of St. Martin here of some off the X feeds here showing some pretty gusty winds away from the protected areas, to say the least. But definitely a cloudy, kind of a squally, kind of rainy afternoon there across the islands. As we're looking at this hot zone, again, we're in August, and this is where we look for tropical development. And that's exactly where Ernesto came from here, as it is now passing through the islands and should be moving back into the Atlantic here very shortly. So here's the cluster of thunderstorms here across this fairly organized system here. It's about an average size system, I would say, by tropical standards. We got a couple other tropical waves out there we'll be watching, but this, of course, is of most concern here. So you can see a pretty good outflow here above the center of circulation. Looks like a little bit of dry air on the western side here, but again, getting its act together, probably will become a hurricane here within the next day and a half or so, getting pretty close to that. So as we take a look at the official report from the National Hurricane Center, as of the 5 o'clock advisory, 18.0 north and 64.1 west. It's got a maximum sustained winds of 60 miles per hour, so we got to get to about 74 miles per hour or greater, so 75, to get us there, where movement is down at the west-northwest at 18. So definitely slowed down substantially, say, from what it was 24 hours ago when it was moving at about 28 miles per hour. Definitely slowed down a bit. And as it passes just to the north of Puerto Rico, is expected to become a hurricane. And then we'll have to watch this closely to see if it becomes a major hurricane. Hurricane Center right now is not saying it will, but there's a possibility it can. I'll show you why here in just a second. Here's all the tracks. These are the 18Z ensemble tracks here. You see them all kind of going this way. Yeah, you always get a couple of these outliers that say, oh, we're going to head over to Florida. No, that's not going that way. It's going to be making the turn toward the north. And there's one trough that's picking this up, and then there'll be another one that's going to pick it up and take it on out and clear it out of the Atlantic. But that's going to take about a week or so for this to all happen. Here's your ensemble here as far as the intensity forecast here. This is the 18Z. You see a few of them here taking it to Cat 3, even one actually taking it up to Cat 4. So there's actually a couple of them that are perhaps bottoming this storm out as it moves out into the open Atlantic here. Here's one of those hurricane models, the HAFS model. This thing bottoms out at about 938 millibars. If it gets that low, folks, that's probably getting close to Cat 4. We're probably going to have a Category 4 hurricane if this drops off. But it really drops off pressure-wise. There's a big ridge of high pressure that's going to be over the top of this thing, so the air can evacuate very efficiently. So the hurricane, it feeds off the warm waters, comes in at the surface, goes up through the middle like a chimney, and evacuates it out the top. And when it gets to this position, off there in the middle of the Atlantic, that's when it's going to be at its best looking environment there in good warm waters. Now, surf conditions up and down the eastern seaboard from, say, Connecticut on down toward Florida, probably going to be pretty rough this weekend. Rip currents and high waves, especially if this thing strengthens big time here for this weekend. So if you have any plans for the weekend going out into the beaches, just watch out for that as well. Let's take a look at the European model guidance on this. This is the afternoon run here. I do want to take you through this and step you through this as we go through. Again, what we're watching for here, again, you got this trough here. You got a pretty good trough here coming off the eastern seaboard. That's what's picking the storm system up and moving it northward. You've also got the Azores high sitting way over here, or the Bermuda high. Typically, this is usually a little bit further off toward the west than where it's currently sitting. So it's moving around the periphery of that thing. So in combination of those two things, we got it moving in a northerly direction, or making that turn as it goes northward. So let's go ahead and watch this thing as we go into this upcoming weekend to the end of the week. So it's really going to get its act together. It'll be a hurricane by the time we head into Thursday, that's for sure. And it'll be sitting out there, moving fairly slowly, as we go throughout the day on Friday, what we're waiting on is this next little trough that's going to be coming off the eastern seaboard here. We've got another trough that's coming this way, and this is going to pick the system up and really speed it out across the northern Atlantic as we go into early next week. So again, let's watch this again as we go forward here and watch this thing go on through. Let me clear this out real quick. Sorry about that. And watch as this thing goes on. And once that trough kicks it, boy, it takes off. Look at that. As we get into Monday, going in toward the 19th, it's really going to take off and head off across the northern Atlantic. Now, the good news is, beyond this, I'm not seeing anything else new developing out there. Now, there's a couple of pretty decent waves that'll be coming off the coast of Africa. But notice as we head in toward the end of next week, going toward August the 23rd, again, about 10 days out, we're not seeing a lot of activity out here just yet. But I don't know if it's going to stay that way, folks, because the environment out there is going to be improving some as we go through the next 10 days or so. And what I'm talking about specifically here is talking about the Saharan dust layer. The Saharan dust has been the real pain in the neck out there as far as anything tropical trying to develop. And let me back this up again. As you can kind of watch where we're kind of seeing now. So this is kind of like a snapshot of now. Pretty heavy there off the coast of Africa. And the trend is downward here. Again, we still got a couple of waves of plumes trying to come off. But the overall trend as we go through this forecast period into around the 17th, this is the 12Z that's just kind of coming in. Hasn't fully loaded, but the trend is downward for the amount of Saharan dust out there. And that's a big deal. When that goes downward, we're definitely going to see activity start to pick up. And as a result of that, the global tropics hazards outlook has also picked up on this as well. So you notice a couple of hotspots. This has just been updated as of today. So you notice here we're getting a 40% chance for development here as we look out toward the 21st to the 27th. And then it shoots up to 60% in the same zone as we go from August 26th through the 3rd. So things should really start to pick up as far as activity out in the tropics as we go through the next couple of weeks. We're getting to that peak of that hurricane season, folks. So again, between August 20th and October 10th, that's when 2/3 of most of your activity gets underway out in the tropics. And once that Saharan dust clears out of there, I really think things are going to go downhill pretty quickly, and we're going to see things get kind of crazy out in the tropics. Now, if you'd like to stay up on the latest on the hurricane season, I invite you to become part of the Weather Nerds family. All you got to do is please hit that subscription button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification tab so you know when you're getting that new, hit that bell, and leave me a comment, tell me what you think. I always do appreciate the feedback. And as always, please share with your friends. I like to invite as many folks as possible here to the channel. All right, that's your 5 o'clock update on Ernesto. We'll see you again for another updated recorded version of this come tomorrow morning. Until then, be good, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next report. Bye for now.